Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thanks to the Minister for the statement on National Housing Day. Mr. Speaker, I thought it would have been a perfect opportunity for the Minister of Housing, the new Minister of Housing, to announce the renewal of the rental cap for renters. It's almost the end of November. Christmas is coming. People have got their notices of rent increases, in some cases quite extraordinary rent increases, to take effect in the new year, Mr. Speaker, and they're wondering whether the cap is coming. And the Minister has still not indicated yes or no whether we're going to see a rent cap. You know, we have a provincial deficit in affordable housing, and it continues to grow every month. But the Minister has no staff. The Minister has no relevant legislation. The Minister needs to have the resources and the legislative mandate to do her job. So we have the New Brunswick Housing Act, Mr. Speaker. Let's hand it over to the Minister of Housing and fully implement it. We have the New Brunswick Housing Corporation, which has no real minister. Let's hand the New Brunswick Housing Corporation over to the Minister of Housing and let her lead the charge, Mr. Speaker, the charge to support the construction of non-market housing across this province, cooperative housing, non-profit housing, housing sponsored by community groups, housing sponsored by service organizations, housing sponsored by churches, housing sponsored by all kinds of civil society organizations, non-market housing where the rents are reasonable, where the rents are affordable. This is exactly how New Brunswick tackled the affordable housing crisis the last time, in the late 70s, in the early and mid-1980s, Mr. Speaker. The New Brunswick Housing Corporation did that job with its own minister, with an extraordinary staff that were committed to ensuring there was affordable housing for all, recognizing that it is a human right. A human right. That was the basis of their work back then. That was the basis of the work over successive governments during that era, Mr. Speaker, and they succeeded. They succeeded, and we see that housing today still operating around the province as a result of that good work. So let the minister free, give her the legislation, give her the staff, give her the money, and let her go.
Presentation